Hi guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Now, before we get into the story, there's going to be a similar like goal in this video. In 4 days, if the video gets 100 likes, I'll start working on the script on the next part immediately. But if it doesn't, I'll move on to either What If Female Deku is Poison Ivy daughter, or What If Android 18 was transported to AMHA, MHA. Now let's get straight into this What If now. Inko is driving Izuku to his new school for his first day. You excited, dear? Not really. I really don't know why you're sending me to the stuck-up school with a bunch of rich kids. Not to burst your bubble, dear, but you're in the same group of those rich kids. I guess you do have a point, Mother. We do have our own staff, our own personal staff. Cheer up. I bet you'll make loads of friends. I highly doubt that, Mother. Who knows, my little white wolf? You might find yourself a nice little girlfriend. That's very unlikely. I highly doubt I'll make a friend. I highly doubt I'll make friends. And finding myself a little girlfriend, as you said, that's even more unlikely to happen. Cheer up. You're a good-looking young man. I bet you catch many girls' eyes. And your fox future will be quite desirable for many of those young ladies. That's one of many reasons why I had you homeschool. You were quite adorable when you were younger. And try to stay in your human form, dear. I know you're more comfortable in your fox form, even though I did like carrying you around the house when you were younger. A lot of people can't transform. Transformation quirks are very unique and rare. Please don't burn the house. Please don't burn the school down. I don't want the same incident to happen at your school what happened to your room last year. I understand. It's not my fault, though. Koski has a foul mouth. I only meant to burn his hair. I didn't mean to burn down the curtains. I wish you two just get along. I understand you want us to get along, Mom. But he's too arrogant. I simply don't like him. I quite adore his mother, though. Aunt Misty is quite nice. It's a shame that he didn't inherit any of her good qualities. I wonder if the angry Pomeranian was adopted. As he cackles to himself, Izuku starts to cackle from the thought of the angry Pomeranian being adopted. Give me a second, guys. Things keep happening outside. Before I continue, you might hear noises in the background. I do apologize, but I have no control over people using a leaf blower outside, so let's continue. That's not funny, dear. Maybe she can return him for a refund. Inko started to laugh a little bit from her son's comment. That's mean. But it's kind of funny anyways. We're here. Try not to rub people the wrong way, dear. What do you mean, Mother? How can I say this in the nicest possible way? You're very cynical sometimes, dear. I honestly don't know where you get it from. Have a good day at school. I'll come and pick you up after school's done. Izuku is about to get out of the vehicle. Are you forgetting something? Seriously, Mom? As she points to her finger at the side of her face. Give me a second, guys. Izuku rolled his eyes as he kisses his mom on the cheek. You happy now? Very. See you after school. Izuku watched his mom drive away after saying his goodbyes. He thought his mother would never allow him to leave. He could tell she was very reluctant for him to attend this school. His mother's always been overbearing when it comes to him. Super over-detective. Most sons would be annoyed over such antics, but he finds it quite enduring. After a quick trip to the teacher faculty room to get his schedule, he found himself in front of a classroom door as he hears several people talking inside the classroom. The teacher was already told he would be arriving any second. When his mother informed him he had to wear a uniform, he hated it. He was so used to wearing kimonos, he found them very comfortable. Wearing the school uniform made him feel constrained, but he knew he would have to get over it while attending this school. A couple minutes later, the teacher introduced herself to Izuku and told him to wait. She'll inform him when he could come inside to introduce himself to the rest of the class. When the teacher told him to come inside, he took a look around the class. Only 3 students stood out to him. The only male in the class that he took notice had 2 different hair colors and a scar, most likely some sort of burnt, coming from his right side of his face, and a black-haired girl with an impressive bust. He expects by her posture she comes from a highly respected family. Then the redhead. She had a dangerous aura about her. She has one leg on top of her desk, like she doesn't care to be there. After observing the entire classroom, he introduced himself to the class. My name's Izuku, and I have a mutation quirk. If you haven't figured that out by my ears. Sensei, where's my seat? After the teacher pointed to the desk between the 2 girls, well, between the 2 girls, was the girl with the big bust and the redhead girl. As he took a seat without saying a single word, the 2 girls, well, between the 2 girls, Shoto barely glanced at his direction, then turned his attention back to the teacher. The black-haired girl simply smiled at Izuku and turned her attention back to the teacher. The redhead girl didn't bother paying attention to Izuku. He was glad that they let him be, with no idle chatter. As he paid attention to the lesson the teacher was lecturing, most transfer students would be nervous when the teacher would single them out to answer several questions throughout the class. Of course, Izuku was no average transfer student. The teacher was quite impressed by Izuku's knowledge. So was Momo. Momo can tell by his contact, or not contact, but how he conduct himself. He was quite intelligent. She suspects it's a it is a good possibility that he comes from a wealthy family. How he talks with full confidence in himself. Even though she saw him writing notes from the lesson, he wrote his notes with elegance. She was simply curious about him. It's rare for someone having a mutation quirk to attend this school. He's very exotic compared to the normal students that would attend here. Even Amber took notice of her cousin's curiosity towards the young man sitting right next to her. Amber doesn't think much of him. She thinks he's another pretty boy, even though she finds the ears on top of his head quite adorable. She would never admit it. She assumes her cousin has the same thought process, or just thought in general. The moment the lunch bell rang, Izuku immediately gathered his things and headed straight out of the door to a quiet place to eat his lunch. Unfortunately, he could not find anything that was adequate until he decided to go on top of the roof of the school. Of course, it was locked, but a simple locked door will not stop a Kitsune. As he used one of his claws to pick the lock, ignoring the off-limit signs that was posted right next to the door. Izuku noticed someone was following him, but he did not bother to look back. He didn't really care. the worst thing that could happen if he would get yelled at or sent to detention. But that did not matter to him. When the lock finally clicked, Izuku's face turned into a smirk, satisfied with the door, satisfied from unlocking the door. As he opened the door, walked in on top of the roof. As he sat down to eat his lunch, as he took out a bento box out of his book bag and began to eat. You know this place is off limits, new kid. I'm not the type to follow the rules, redhead. Amber had a smirk on her face. She walked up to Izuku and sat right next to him, and took out her bento box and began to eat her lunch. Name's Amber, new kid. Izuku. I didn't ask for your name. Do I look like I care? As she slapped her hand on Izuku's back. You know what? I think me and you are going to get along just fine. You have a backbone, and you're not stuck up like the most of these kids here. Or people here. It doesn't matter to me if we get along or not. I have no interest in anyone in this school. But I suppose the company would be nice from time to time. I've been curious about this ever since you walked into the classroom. She moved his hair from the side of the face to check to see if he had another set of ears underneath underneath his hair. She was shocked that the only ears he has is on top of his head. What are you doing? Checking if you have two sets of ears. Why would I have two sets of ears? The ears on top of my head are the only ears I have. Excuse me, Mr. Grumpy. I was just curious, no reason to get your panties in a bunch. You should be grateful, a beautiful girl as myself giving you such attention. You're a cocky one. I'm not cocky, I'm just stating the facts. So what type of quirk do you actually have? I know you have a mutation quirk, but you never stated what kind. That's that's a thought I could. That's a thought. As he puts his finger underneath his chin in a thinking pose. I could tell you, but yet again, what do I get out of it? Giving Amber a mischievous grin. Ooh, I like this game. Let's see what I can give you. As she gets extremely close to Izuku, only inches away from his face, adjusting her body so Izuku could see her cleavage that could be seen through her uniform. Did you get a good look? Giving him a smirk. Find you when you vixen. It's a fox. Come again? I couldn't hear you. I have a fox mutation. Happy now? Amber in her thoughts. It's quite adorable how flustered he gets. I'm going to have fun messing with him. I expect as much. As she steps away from Izuku's face, and sat back down in right beside him. I mean, the fluffy tail is a big giveaway. Foxes are known to be quite mischievous. I'll have to keep that in mind. As fun as as fun as it has been, it seems that our lunch is over. Right, Mr. Foxy. We should get back to class before we're late. As a gentleman, you're required to escort me back to class. Izuku's inner thoughts. What is with this human? I knew she did that shit on purpose, but I still fell for it. God damn it. Whatever. Fine, my lady. Giving her a condescending bow. She simply had a smirk that never left her. She had a smirk that never left her face, as she wrapped her arms around Izuku's. Shall we go, Foxy? What's with the nickname? It's a show of affection. Consider yourself lucky. It's not every day a beauty like me gives nicknames, and plus, it suits you. Now, no backtalk. Let's get to class. Izuku's highly annoyed by this girl's attitude. He reluct. Give me a second, guys. He relented. Nah, nevertheless, he would complain, but it would be more trouble than is worth. Everyone in the classroom was surprised that Amber wasn't in her seat already, but what took them by more surprise is to see Amber latch onto the new transfer student with a smile on her face. Everyone knows she doesn't smile. Momo was even Momo was shocked the most. She knows her cousin rarely smiles, and she even more shocked that she's latched onto him. She knows she's never been big on physical contact, especially with a boy. When they finally got to their seats, she let go of Izuku's arm. Izuku was very relieved. He already been a center of attention since he walked into this classroom. He's he's more of the center of attention since he. Oh, give me a second. I misread. He's more center of attention since he entered the classroom with Amber around his arm. He didn't want. He did. Sorry. He didn't want for him to stick out. He wanted to spend his time being unnoticed by anyone because of Amber's actions. That's no longer possible. Momo took out her phone and started to text her cousin. Her cousin Amber to see what's the deal for her to showing affection to the new towards the new guy. What's going on between you? Still. Are you jealous, cuz? Of course not. You know I'm engaged with Shoto. You could have fooled me. I saw you staring at him during class. Fine. I do find him attractive. I was just curious about him. At first I thought he was another pretty boy, but I'm starting to like him. He's so much fun to mess with. What did you do? Nothing too bad. I might have showed him a little skin. You should have saw his face. It was quite bright red. It was quite adorable, actually. Oh my god, you did not. Amber? That's no way to act. Well, I'm not as prude as you are, cuz. And I do like messing with him. Who knows? I might make who knows? I might make a move on him eventually, but we'll see what happens in the future. After all, I'm in the market for a new boyfriend. I thought you were dating that one guy. I tossed him the curve. He was a loser. I thought you really liked that boy. That's the problem. He was a boy. I want a man, not a boy. And Mr. Foxy over there is a good. Sorry, Mr. Foxy over there has a good head start. So you are interested in him. That I am. But like I said, it's too early to tell. Well, it looks like the teacher walked in. I'll talk to you after school. We're definitely going to talk more when we get home. As they stop texting each other. All right, class. Sorry, I'll be signing everyone in teams of 2. This will be on the finals at the end of the year. So I expect you to all perform to the academy standards. Then she begins pairing up the students. Mr. Todoroki, your partner will be Momo. And she starts to pair off each student until she got to Izuku. Miss Amber, you will be partnered up with the new student. I expect you to get a passing grade this time, and don't send your partner to the hospital like the last one. Alright, that's the end of class. Before you leave, make sure to grab your assignments. The teacher noticed Amber was excited, well, extremely happy with her partner. Too happy. It unnerved her, as she sent a apologetic glance at the young man. Where do you think you're going, Foxy? Stopping him before he could leave the classroom. What does it look like I'm going home? Not until I get your digits. We're partners after all. As she snatched his phone from his hand, then she dialed her number. Then her phone goes off as she tosses his phone back at him. You better save my number. Make sure you're free on the weekends. I expect we're going to spend a lot more time with each other. See you around, Foxy. As she winks at Izuku, then she walked past Izuku with a smirk on her face. Izuku finally got out of the school building as he sees his mother waiting for him. So how was your first day of school, dear? Stressful. Get in the car and tell me all about your day. Izuku told his mom what happened today at school. He didn't like the smug look on her face, like she was right. Didn't I tell you you would catch the eye of a girl? To think she was to think she had you wrapped around her little finger. She doesn't have me wrapped around her finger. You can deny it all you want, dear. So, when do I get to meet her? Hopefully never. Hopefully never. Don't be like that, dear. Inko noticed Izuku's phone's going off. Speak up the devil. Aren't you going to answer that, dear? Izuku growled, seeing the caller ID. Don't growl at your mother. Don't make me muzzle you. You wouldn't dare. Lighten up. It was a joke. I suggest you answer. She might not like it very much if you don't answer. Women can be fickle sometimes. Whatever. What do you need, Amber? Nothing much. I just wanted to see if you would answer, if I called. And I'm quite pleased that you did. But we need to start on our project. So, my place or yours? I know I'm going to regret this. Inko grabbed the phone from his hands. Hello there. I'm Inko, Izuku's mother. My dear little white fox just told me about the assignment. How about you come over to our place after school tomorrow and stay for dinner? That would be lovely, Miss Inko. Then it's settled. I'll see you tomorrow. See you then. As they both hang up, as she hands the phone back to her son. I hate it when you do that. It's for your own good, dear. At this rate, you'll never get married. You know I'm still in high school, right? It's never too late for... It's never too late to plan for the future. This is gonna suck. Cheer up. I'm sure she's a lovely girl. I'm looking forward to this. As Momo was leaning against the wall, as she saw her cousin hang up her phone. So, how did it go, cuz? It was... It went very well. I'll be going over his house tomorrow. I have been invited over for dinner. Really? I'm surprised that he took the initiative. I'm slightly disappointed he didn't. He didn't ask me himself, but I only known him for a day. His mother invited me over. She seemed to be a very interesting woman. I like how she does things. We got much work to do then. What do you mean? If you're going over there for dinner, you're not going over there and dressing your school uniform. You got to make a good first impression. I had a feeling you were going to say that. And I'm not wearing a dress. Yeah, I know how you dress. We're just going to have to find something that's not too revealing. What's wrong? What's wrong how I dress, Momo? You're family and I do love you, but you dress kind of trashy sometimes. I love you too, Momo, but that won't stop me from tossing you out this window. I don't dress like a slut. I never said you dress like a slut. You said it, not me. I hate you sometimes. Let's just drop this for now. So, Miss Know-It-All, are you are you still going to still help me find something to wear? Yes, I am. As Momo and Amber spent half the night going through her wardrobe, that she found something reasonable for Amber to wear over to Izuku's house to meet his mother. The next day, Amber used her free time she had to tease Izuku before the end of the day. She got Izuku's address before the end of the day. After going home and getting out of the school uniform and wearing her outfit Momo picked out for her from her wardrobe, a black top that shows off a little bit of her stomach, and she wears a black leather jacket and black jeans, as sorry, she had the driver drop her off at Izuku's house. She was quite surprised that he lives in a manor. Momo did mention to her that he might come from a wealthy family. She doesn't really care about that. Most people wouldn't really tell by how she dressed. Her father is quite wealthy himself. Her father is as wealthy as Momo's father. As the stuff as the staff let her in, as she sees Inko greet her at the front door. Welcome to our home, dear. It's good to finally officially meet you. It's good to meet you. Oh, sorry. It's good to meet you too, Miss Inko. Just Inko would be fine. I'm no longer married. Please make yourself at home. As she guides her to the living room, my son will be down in a little bit. Izuku finally came into the living room wearing a black kimono. Amber was quite surprised by his choice of clothes. She couldn't help but think that he looks quite nice in that kimono. Well, I'll leave you to it. You two don't have too much fun. As she winks at the both of them, as she leaves the room, totally satisfied and buries her son in front of his new lady friend. Well, I got to say, Foxy, you clean up real nice. I suppose, I suppose you look quite nice yourself. Aren't you the sweet talker? A girl always appreciates being complimented on her clothes. Shall we get to work? I suppose we should. I suppose we should. Do you always wear a kimono by chance? Yes, I feel more comfortable in kimonos than anything else. Well, you do. Well, you do look good in them, pretty boy. As they begin to work on their project for school, several hours has passed as the personal maid informed the two of them dinner will be ready in a few minutes. As they both sat at a dinner table, the staff, well, sorry, the staff placed several types of food on the table. Izuku noticed his mother pulled out all the stops. I got to say, this looks very good. There's so many different types of food here. I might have overdid it a little bit. This is a this is a once in a lifetime event. It's the first time my son brought home a pretty girl. Well, thank you, Inka. You're a beautiful woman, as well. Oh my, thank you for the compliment, dear. I like this one. She's a keeper. Well, dig in. The dinner was quite pleasant. That that quite surprised Izuku. He doesn't know how to feel about Amber getting along with his mother. They got along too well. He had a bad feeling that she would bring up embarrassing moments when he was younger, and he was right to worry. After dinner, she brought out the picture book as Amber took advantage of the situation to tease him further. I quite enjoy myself. Thank you for inviting me over. You're quite welcome. You're quite welcome, dear. You can come over anytime. Maybe you can break my son out of his little shell. Don't worry, I plan to. Izuku escorted Amber outside to escape the situation. As they stepped outside to talk, I like your mom. I could see that. I had a good time. I haven't had that much fun in a long time. I bet you did. Despite your constant teasing, the evening wasn't too bad. Despite my mom bringing up several embarrassing pictures. I'm glad she did. You're quite adorable when you were little, or when you were younger. I had no idea you were able to transform into a fox. You're definitely going to have to show me one of these days. I would love to. I would love to stay in here and talk with you more, but my ride's here. I had a lovely time. She leans over to kiss Izuku on the cheek. See you around, Foxy. And before I forget, clear your clear your schedule or calendar on Saturday. Why? What are you plotting? Little old me plotting never. I like having you I like having you around me. So, you're going to take me on a date. Wait, what? I didn't stutter. You, me, Saturday date. As she gets extremely close to Izuku, if you show me a good enough time on Saturday, I might reward you with a kiss. Izuku is completely speechless. I take your silence as a yes. I'll see you Saturday. See you tomorrow, Foxy. As she waves her hips around as she walks to the limousine to give Izuku a good view of her ass. She knew he was staring and she did it on purpose. Izuku watched her get into the vehicle and drive off. He stepped inside the house. So, how did it go, dear? Okay, apparently I got myself a date. I don't want to hear it, Mom. I'm going to bed. He clearly could see the smile on his mom's face, like she knew she was going to ask him. Yet again, he doesn't know why he would agree to it. At the same time, he didn't upright refuse the date. He doesn't like how Amber makes him so flustered. This is the first time the opposite sex has shown interest in him before, so this is uncharted territory for him. And this is where we're going to leave it off. Hope you guys have a good night and day. Judge my time, so I'll catch you in the next video.